Like, what would you has been in your experience the biggest ball ache when you're kind of doing your game dev stuff?
The Simulacrum and Warframe. I absolutely hate that room. And here's why. It's because we put out an update and you go look at all of our content creators and all of our champions, and they're all sitting in this gray room.
Yeah, John.
Shooting things that don't move, staring at the numbers going, is that good? I don't know. Like, that's what everyone does. And that's what people use to validate all of these crazy things. And it's like, okay, I get that it's an easy place to quickly jump between your arsenal and experiment with builds. And I get that. Yeah. But I goddamn hate that, like, there's probably a large portion of our YouTube content out there that's this goddamn box room, silver gray room, brain dead AI, and you're just staring at the numbers. And it just drives me nuts because the game is so rich in artistic content and the game plays so much different than that room.
It does.
That when people start sending me that as this is look how easy the game is. Look what I can do when there's 15 bombards all piled together in one spot. It's like, that doesn't happen in the actual game ever.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered just
using that as an example of how the game plays? I get why they're doing it. I just hate that they do it. We definitely had conversations about putting caps on it or just limiting its use or just outright deleting it.
Yeah.
In the last little while because it's just so frustrating that is the benchmark of the game.
Yeah.
And it's such a disservice to the artists that worked on this game and all of the AI designers. It's such a teensy weensy portion of the game that is used as the pedestal of this is what the game is, and it kind of drives me nuts.
Ah, yes. Let's validate the people that use the Simulacrum as a character attack. I'm sorry if I'm just so sarcastic right now. I just can't believe that a developer said this. Well, if you say things like that, it just implies that you don't really know why people use it, and the whole reason why I use it and a lot of other kind of creators use it is because shit's misleading as fuck. I'm just gonna be completely blunt. The game isn't very easy to pick up unless you got a few hundred hours under your belt. That's why information in Warframe has such a large market on the Warframe YouTube space, rather than just gameplay. It's the same exact thing over and over again. Like, nothing really different happens other than drops maybe, but it's literally the same thing over and over again. And yes, you're right that actual game doesn't play like that, because the actual game is even easier than that. The Simulacrum also prevents a lot of garbage content on YouTube. Like, without the Simulacrum, someone could probably say that Mark 1 Bratton is a good weapon and can one-shot level 30 enemies if you pump enough damage mods into it. Or we could have manifestos about how the regular Strun is the best weapon in the game because it can wipe out the entire star chart with only 2 mods. I get comments all the time like, well, if you tested it in a real mission, you would see, well, see what? Like, that it one-shots a level 30 enemy? What's the point? Like, there's a lot of, everything can one-shot a level 30 enemy. So what? What would be the point in showing that? Right? It should be obvious that this is not like a fucking content creator issue. It's a gameplay issue. And here's the thing, most of the content creators hate the Simulacrum too. We all want to do other content. That's why we talk about endgame so much. But there isn't anything in the game that's dynamic or entertaining to watch because it's all static. It's the same thing over and over again. And no one wants to watch someone slowly die from doing the same thing 200 times. The closest thing we got to endgame was Railjack, but that's exactly what Railjack was not advertised as. And it was executed in the most bare bones way possible. Like only one mission type. There isn't anything to really show off your skills other than maybe speed running bosses, but that's not something you can just make a video about every day. Well, if you don't like the game so much, why don't you suggest things to make it better instead of actually just complaining all the time? Here's the thing, we've all done that. There are a billion trillion suggestions out there on Reddit, YouTube, the forums. Like, for years I've been saying that I want to have a Conclave mode that's like Battlefront, but we take out the Tenno, because the most annoying thing about Conclave is the fucking movement. It's just so hard to like track and aim on people when they can just fucking dance through the air like non-stop. It's annoying as shit. So instead of like coming up with a lore reason as to why the Tenno suddenly have like stamina or they suddenly can't like parkour or anything, just take the Tenno out, make us play as enemy factions, and it would be like a free-to-play a competitor to Battlefront. And I think that'd be great for the game. But there are other people with other suggestions. Like, for example, Red Dead Redemption had this idea where instead of like PvP, we could do competitive PvE, where it's like World of Warcraft's Mythic Plus. Now, I have never played World of Warcraft. She has, but that's just the one out of the many suggestions. And there are a ton of suggestions out there, and it feels like DE isn't acting on any of them at all. We keep saying that there's nothing to do at the end of the rainbow when you're done grinding anything. There's nothing much to do. There's nothing that's rewarding at all, right? Or there's nothing that's even just fun to play in general. Like, for example, Survival and Sanctuary Onslaught, those are like the perfect bare bones roguelikes. If you just take out like mods and add like power-ups or something, and you'd have to like fight to open the teleporter like you do in Risk of Rain, that'd be amazing. And have the power-ups and the mods like stack infinitely. That'd be amazing. People so desperately want something like that that they're turning to endurance runs. People have been saying they want scaling rewards so that endurance runs are actually rewarding, and DE says that's all fine and dandy, but as soon as they think no one's looking, they make fun of people for doing endurance runs. So, like, what the fuck? And then there's all these knee-jerk reaction nerfs that we keep saying. And for the most part, it just feels like they're trying to just make us content creators look like the bad guys for trying to, like, break the meta. I know I'm getting a little off topic here, but, like, still. As much as I don't really like making content in the Simulacrum, it saved me and everyone else time. For example, like, it takes me about, like, 2 to 3 hours to level things, and that's just because I do them on stream, and I like to test my builds after I'm done leveling them, right? But if we didn't have the Simulacrum, right, we'd have to like do an endurance run, right, just to test the build, see how it is with that amount of forma, and if we didn't like it or whatever, then we have to put another forma, and the same process over and over again, right? So that process from going like 2 to 3 hours would go up dramatically to like 12, maybe. I could probably review a whole ass game in that same amount of time. Another example would be my streams. Like, for example, when I stream Warframe, like, people ask me questions about builds and like weapons all the time. And instead of just telling them, I'd rather just show them. So I just hop in the Simulacrum, show them my build, show how it performs, right? And I'd tell them any suggestions or caveats about the weapon, and then be done with it. And that happens pretty often during my streams, right? If we take away the Simulacrum, that would probably have to stop. Like, I'd probably have to, like, I don't want to dedicate an entire endurance run just to show off how a build works. That'd be really weird. And that would take a long time. Like, we'd love to do other things in this game. We'd like to play this game more. That's literally what we are asking. We want to play this game more. But there's continuously just been less and less of a reason to. All the time. Anyway, guys, that's all for me. Sorry this is just different from my normal sort of content. Instead of this being useful to you, like the videos I like to make, this is just me kind of talking, and this is more of an opinion piece. So I know I'm kind of late to the party on this, but it's just been kind of bothering me. Like, it's pretty hard to test like how the changes like affect certain things if everything just dies in one hit. Warframe changes all the time, so naturally people would want to know how the changes affect things. And honestly, I just don't know what's so hard to see about that. It's like I said, the game doesn't play like that, but like the real game's easy, a lot easier than the Simulacrum. Anyway, guys, that's all for me. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.